Thank you for watching Tarot with Tabitha. My name is Tabitha, and today we're going over the magician. So who is the magician? What do you think of when you think of a magician? You think of somebody that does magic, creates magic. The magician really is just somebody that, takes their energy and directs it into what they're trying to do. When we look at the magician, we're looking at a bunch of different things, okay? We have 1, he has the Roman numeral number 1, so he's the first card in the tarot. He's not actually the very first card, because obviously the first card was the Fool, but the Fool is 0, so that's really nothing, right? If we look at the card, we see that he is surrounded by yellow light. There is no background, it's just yellow. He's wearing a white tunic, and he has a red robe on. You can also see that he is standing in a garden, and it's also red and white flowers below it. Also, you see that he has a table, and he has 4 different tools on the table. He has the pentacle, he has the cup, he has a sword, and he has the wand. He is also holding a wand. You also see that he has the infinity sign over his head. So what does all this stuff mean, right? Okay, so the Roman numeral 1, or just a 1 by itself, really is like a seed of opportunity. It's the beginning. It's a chance for new beginnings. It's something that you have to cultivate, though. If you don't take the opportunity, then you will not have any growth. If we look at the items that are on the table, of course, the table could be like an altar, right? An altar is usually a tabletop or something to that effect that magicians use, or witches use, to perform their spells, right? Each item that is on the altar or the tabletop is an item that magicians use to create their magic, right? We see the pentacle. Pentacles are also known as coins. Coins are symbolic for material things, for money, for stability, things like that, right? You see the cup, or it could be known as a chalice. Those are basically vessels for holding water, right? Wands are the element of fire, okay? They signify inspiration and life force, motivation, power, and desire. So when you are using a wand, you're kind of using it to invoke your own power and to create something, right? Swords are the element of air, and they basically talk about activities of the mind, right? So when you think of swords, think of like knights, right? Knights they're honorable, they're virtuous, they have good communication. When we look at the infinity sign above his head, we're looking at the interaction of energy and matter and the indestructibility. Okay, infinity means forever. It's the wholeness of existence and the inseparability of all parts, right? Well, the color yellow symbolizes like the sun, right? The sun can be, a giver of vitality that stimulates growth. Also, the sun can burn you. So this is also a warning to not get too close to the sun and not to take your powers for granted or to be careless with them, because you can get burned. So in this card, we see red and white repeated, right? So we have the red robe and the red roses, and we have the white tunic and the white lilies, right? So red is a symbol of energy and passion, will, lifeblood. It can be love, but it can also be revenge, rage when you see red, right? When you get so angry that you see red. White is for innocence and purity, can mean new beginnings, achievements, that sort of thing. We also see the magician holding his one arm up and one arm down. This symbol is a very common Hermetic symbol, stating as above, so below. And what that means is basically, as there is in the universe, there is down here on the material plane. The magician is kind of like the conduit for energy, right? He has to call for it. He has to use his magic and bring it forth from whatever outside reaches that he can pull from, right? And the energy passes through him, and he must be grounded. As you see, he's in a field of flowers, so that's where he's grounding himself. But he's also directing the energy with his other hand. He's directing it into the earth, into the material plane. Basically, he's acting as a channel. When you think of like electricity hitting something, if it hits a point and it doesn't have anywhere to escape from, it will just blow apart whatever it hit, right? So because he has an entry and an exit, he is grounded and he is able to direct that energy where it needs to go. So what does this all mean? What does all these symbols mean together? Okay, the magician is very aware of his power. Okay, he is aware of how to pull from spirit or pull from the universe. It can also mean that somebody else is having power that's affecting you. It's referring to beginnings because it is a 1 card. It's referring to beginnings, but it kind of means like the first actual steps. This could mean like the beginning of a new project or phase of your life, and excitement that sustains you through the hard work to reach your goals, right? It's a creative force because the magician is very creative. He can use all of these tools. He can use herbs, he can use potions, he can use whatever to create. And it also means keeping your energy directed in a specific direction so that you can achieve your goal, being focused and staying on target. When your intentions and your actions are aligned, that's when the real magic happens. So to stay focused and to keep at whatever you're doing. Reversed. So when this card is reversed, it means the opposite of what we just said. So something is blocking the flow of energy, right? It's becoming disrupted or blocked. There's a weakness or a lack of will, or there's some confusion of your purpose that leads to you doing nothing. So instead of going out and creating your destiny, you're not doing that. Something's blocking you, whether it's fear, confusion, other people's will, whatnot. Basically, the power is here, but you can't touch it. You might know that it's there, but something's stagnating you, right? Could also mean that you're abusing the power. There could be a strong character that is exerting their destructive power over you, maybe some black magic. It could mean that there's something mental going on, like some hallucinations or fear of madness. Or it could be that the energy is entering you, but you don't know how to direct it into your outer reality. So the magician, when he's reversed like this, it doesn't mean that he needs to be banished or sent away or confined or anything like that. We just have to figure out how to make him come back right side up. That way he can direct his energy in the proper way and get things done.